In today's episode, I am going to be talking about how to plan a glamorous wedding without spending celebrity money. Yeah, and I'll be speaking with respect to Davido Miami 2025, the wedding of the season. You know, when that Davido wedding dropped, people were like dripping. Ladies were like, oh wow, this wedding is so wonderful, so glorious, so glamorous and everything. Yeah, it was really nice. From their pictures to the occasion and everything, it was really, really nice. To the car and everything, yeah, going on there, it was really, really nice indeed. You know, so many people will be wishing that their wedding could be even half as glamorous as that of Davido Miami 2025, even if their budget says otherwise. But you can still have a glamorous wedding without spending celebrity money. You just have to work with your budget and still do something really nice. Yes. So in today's episode, I am going to be showing you how to do that. So how do you plan? How do you have a glamorous wedding without spending celebrity money? Of course, before I begin, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also like and comment and share my videos as well. Thank you so much for that. For those of you that don't know Davido Miami 2025, it's a wedding that happened between two Nigerian celebrities, Davido, an artist, and Chioma, Davido Adeleke and Chioma. So yes, they got married this month, August 2025. Yes, and the wedding was really, really glamorous. So how do you plan a glamorous wedding without spending celebrity money? Number one, choose a stunning but affordable venue. Don't forget that you have to work with your budget and that of your partner. It's very, very important. Not such as you want an expensive wedding like that of Davido, but you still have to work with your budget. Very important. So you don't need a 5-star hotel. If you can't afford it, you don't need it. All you need is to find hidden gems. There are still other nice places that can be affordable. Like, it could be a botanical garden. Yeah, it could be an art space. It could be, just look for a very nice hall with great lighting. Very, very important. The lighting is very, very important. It will help you to have really nice pictures. So look for a very nice hall with great lighting that suits your budget. Secondly, limit your guest list. Yes, it's very important. Let the people that you want to see in your wedding come for your wedding. Let it be the amount of people that you want to see. You're not doing Operation Feed the Nation. You're planning your wedding. Everybody should not come for that wedding. Even those that you don't know, those that it doesn't concern. Just enter your wedding anyhow. No, it shouldn't be like that. Limit your guest list to the way you want it, to the way it suits you and your partner. Because the more the guests, the more expenses for all those food, presentation, decor, and all those things. See, luxurious wedding is all about quality, not quantity. You don't need the whole world to come to your wedding. No, just look at Davido's wedding. They had a guest list. They had people that they invited. If you're not invited, you cannot enter. Even if that wedding hall, the wedding was done in Miami, even if that wedding hall is like just a block away from your house, you were not invited means you cannot come. Simple. It doesn't matter whether you know whether you know Davido or not. But the fact that he did not invite you, you cannot come for his wedding. That is how it should be. So control your guests to the way you want it to be. Even when Davido had their traditional marriage in Nigeria, it's still the same thing. Strictly by invitation. Even if you come to that venue and you know how to sing all of Davido's songs, but you were not invited, my dear, you will not enter that hall. No matter who you are. I heard so many stories when they had their traditional marriage. I think that was last year, 2024. Yes, so many people were not allowed to enter. They were driven back. They were stopped. Some of them were even harassed. So work with anybody that you don't want to see in your wedding. they are not allowed to enter. Simple. You can do it strictly by invitation. If you want, it's a choice. It depends on you and your partner, my dear. So anyhow you want, whether strictly by invitation or not, make sure you're working with a guest list that you can handle. So since you're working on a budget, wedding on a budget, try and have 1 or 2 wow factor. Something that when people see when they enter that wedding, they will be wowed. It could be anything. It could be your cake, it could be your dress, it could be your decoration, it could be the chandelier in the hall. Just look for something. Everything must not be expensive. You understand? You're working on a budget, but just look for one thing that will make that place unique, that will make the wedding unique. It could be even your dress. Yes, the both of you can just look so extremely luxurious and expensive, look really amazing. Normally, you know that both of you are the focus of the day, so you need to look amazing. Yes, but what I'm trying to say is that instead of trying so much to make everything expensive, whereas you don't want to exceed your budget, just look for 1 or 2 wow factor. There are so many things that you can actually rent instead of buy. Yes, maybe you want to buy something, but it's really expensive. It's way above your budget. Instead of going to go and buy something that will not be okay, something that will not be nice for the occasion, because you're trying to save money, why not rent that standard one? It will save you money and still give you what you want. Think about it. So many things that you can actually rent that will give you what you want and still save you money, help you to work on your budget. Even your dress as the bride, even the groom. I hear that people rent suit as well. Instead of going to buy low quality something that will not be okay, why not rent? There are so many things about weddings that people rent. So try renting, more of renting for your wedding instead of buying. Since you're working on a budget and you're trying to control the number of people that will come, and you're trying to also save costs, you can go for off-peak dates. Yes, weddings that are done during the week, and also weddings that are done in off seasons can actually cost a little less. Yes, when you do your wedding during the week, it costs less. When you do your wedding out of season, like all those people that do their wedding in Christmas, New Year, Easter periods, because those times are actually seasons, weddings can be really expensive. Yes, planning a wedding can be really, especially that Christmas season. So when you want your wedding to cost a little less, you can try other times of the year outside those seasons, in off seasons. Also, work with vendors that suit your budget. Yes, there are so many talented people out there, so many talented vendors. You don't need those vendors that celebrities normally use. There are still so many good photographers, decorators, designers that you can use that will suit your budget and still deliver quality. You shouldn't say because you want your wedding to be as glamorous as Davido Miami 2025, you now begin to want to ask about their vendors and want to use their vendors, whereas you're working on a budget that is not the same, that is even less than that of Davido. No, there are still so many good people out there that can still deliver. So work with vendors that suit your budget but can still deliver quality. My dear, invest in a good photographer. Very important. Even a modest wedding looks luxurious when the pictures are really good, professional and well edited. See, my dear, don't slack on this one. You need to get a very good photographer for your wedding. Do not settle for less on this. That person needs to be very good, because you need very nice pictures that you can use for throwback after the wedding. And you know that this wedding something is not something that you just do every year, like your birthday or something. This is something that you do once in a lifetime. So please Even if you're trying to work on a budget, I understand you don't have to use Chivido's photographer, but there are still so many good photographers out there that will give you quality and still match your budget. So what I'm trying to say is, please make sure that your photographer is professional and will give you quality, because times will definitely come when you want to look back at how your wedding went. It could be maybe during your anniversary, or maybe when your children start coming, you just want to show them how your wedding went. But once your pictures are bad, the video is bad, or they were even lost, that one is even worse, you will feel really bad forever. Like, it will hurt you so much. In fact, there's a level you'll come to in your life, maybe when things got really, really better financially for you, and you look back at your pictures years ago and you feel really bad. Like, you begin to wish that you actually did better during your wedding, so that you can always have pictures that you can look at whenever you want to, remind yourself about your wedding. Very important, learn to skip unnecessary extras. You're working with a particular budget. Both of you are working with a budget, so you have to learn to skip those extras so you don't overshoot. You understand? In as much as you want to have something glamorous and nice, but there is a way you can still do it. Celebrity weddings usually have a lot of extras. It could be a very luxurious cake. It could be a champagne fall, something extra, because they have the money, yes. But you're working with a budget and you don't want to overshoot. You can still have something glamorous. For example, maybe you want a cake, a very nice cake. There is a way they still do it. I think some part of the cake could be a dummy, then some part a cake, then to be decorated in a very nice way. You still get what you want, get the pictures of the cake very well, all those things. So you don't begin to say things like, you don't begin to put pressure on yourself and on your partner to give you a cake like that of Davido Miami 2025. My dear, don't try that. You will definitely regret it. Don't put unnecessary pressure on yourself and that of your partner because you want what someone else did for their wedding. No. What I'm trying to say is that you can still get luxury and still work on your budget. You can still look nice. You understand? Do you know how much that Davido's cake cost? So much money, and their own is full cake, no dummy. So my dear, learn to work with what you have. Yes. Avoid unnecessary extras. Go for minimalist elegance. Yes. You can still look classy without overspending. Your wedding can still be glamorous without you having to rob a bank. Yes, just work with your budget. But make sure you go for quality. Yes. From your makeup as the bride, to your hair, to your dress, very, very important. And that of your partner, it has to be good, because you guys are more like the focus of the day. It is your day. So make sure that you're looking nice. You can also get creative with entertainment for your day. Yes. You don't have to go for a very expensive artist or a DJ. No. You can be creative. You can go for a very, very talented and nice live band, or a cultural entertainer. Something. Just get creative and still work with your budget. There are so many talented vendors out there. Even if you want to work with a DJ, there are still good ones that will suit your budget. So work with them, but make sure to be creative with entertainment for your day. Make the food an experience and not just a meal. Yes, you can make the food of your day the wow factor. Instead of having a very expensive 5-course plated meal, why not have, since you're working on the budget, why not have one main meal of the day and maybe have like a dessert wall added to it, since you're working on a budget? It's very important, and it will still look nice, elegant, and all those things. So all you need to do is to plan yourself well. make sure all those things are properly organized. So it's not just having an expensive food. Let's be presented in an elegant and very nice way. You can have a well-planned exit. Celebrities always live with style, grand style. They always live in grand style. You can too if you want. You can decide to just end that day, your day, in a very grand style. Yes, it could be you and your partner living in a vintage car if you can afford it. You must not go with the type of car Davido used. I mean, it's very expensive, or less if you can afford it. Just think of something really nice and elegant. Think outside the box. You can even decide to close that day with really nice and big photogenic moments with friends and family. And just, enter your car and leave. It is really nice. Just try something that will be special. Just try anything that will make that day special for the two of you. That is what is important. And finally, for today's episode, you can streamline the bridal party. Yes, you can make it in a very small and elegant way. The smaller and the more elegant will even cost you less. Yes, you don't need to spend so much, maybe in the outfits or the transportation or the bouquets and all these things that are not necessary. Once there is food enough for you and your bridesmaids and maybe men in suit or something, just make sure to cut down cost on the extras and focus more on taking care of you and your bridesmaids for you guys to look better and still enjoy the moment. Avoid unnecessary costs. Focus on the main things for that night. In summary, what I'm trying to say is that luxury is not just about spending so much. You don't have to spend every single dime that you have. It's all about making the right choices and planning well. That is it. If you spend so much and you don't plan well, everything will still look, disorganized and all that. So it's very important that you make the right choices and plan well. See, your wedding can still look as magical and glamorous as that of a celebrity. Even if you don't have to spend exactly what they spent in their own wedding. You understand? So work with your own budget and still make it nice, elegant, and as glamorous as you want it to be. Remember, don't forget that there is life after your wedding. So please, you don't need to spend every single dime that you have. Work with your budget. So that is all for today's episode on how to plan a glamorous wedding without spending celebrity money. So thank you so much for watching my video today. Thanks so much for listening, and please don't forget to subscribe if you've not subscribed. Also like and comment on my videos as well. Tell me what you think about today's video. In fact, if you know anybody that is planning a wedding, they want it to be glamorous but they don't want to spend so much, you can even share this video with them. I'm sure they will learn one or two. So thank you so much for that. See you in another episode with Rusi Baby. Bye.